Jungkook shocks fans with new tattoo, but the real reason behind it leaves everyone speechless. What drives a global icon to permanently etch new symbols on his skin? Not once, but repeatedly, and why now? That's the question millions are asking after Jungkook, the golden magne of BTS, appeared once again in public with a startling new tattoo, triggering a wave of speculation, admiration, and confusion across ARMY and the entertainment world alike. But it wasn't just the design that drew attention. It was the timing, the placement, and most disturbingly, the message it might be hiding. With the world watching, Jungkook stepped out during a surprise appearance in Seoul, his sleeves rolled up just enough to reveal fresh ink snaking down his forearm. Undeniably recent, unmistakably deliberate. What should have been a simple public appearance instantly turned into a global talking point. And while fans have always embraced Jungkook's evolving identity, this particular tattoo has forced many to reconsider everything they thought they understood about his image, his struggle, and the silent battle he may still be fighting. Observers were quick to note that the latest design, minimalist in style but intense in tone, was unlike his previous body art. Gone were the playful motifs and familiar words that once symbolized freedom and youth. This tattoo bore a darker aesthetic, clean lines forming what appeared to be abstract symbols, cryptic numbers, and a solitary English word etched vertically along his wrist. Remember, that one word, in stark contrast with the rest of the artwork, seemed to scream louder than anything he said that day. But what exactly is he asking us to remember? And why now? This isn't the first time Jungkook has used his body as a canvas for communication. In the past, his tattoos were seen as personal expressions, tributes to BTS, reminders of his journey, declarations of identity. Yet in recent months, a pattern has emerged. His newer tattoos have taken on a colder tone, often blending themes of memory, loss, and silence. Taken together, they suggest something far more deliberate than simple aesthetic preference. Several industry insiders have noted a visible change in Jungkook's demeanor following his recent return from Los Angeles. While his performances remain flawless, his offstage presence has grown increasingly reserved, even distant. Rumors have long circulated that his solo projects have faced internal pushback, with creative control becoming a growing point of tension between Jungkook and unseen forces behind the curtain. And now, with this latest tattoo, fans are beginning to connect that, until recently, were dismissed as mere coincidence. Could this be Jungkook's only way of speaking out? Those close to the entertainment industry are no strangers to how tightly managed an idol's image can be. For someone of Jungkook's stature, even minor choices, like a hairstyle or outfit, are often scrutinized by entire teams before going public. Yet tattoos, especially hidden ones, offer rare autonomy. They're intimate, unfiltered, silent, but irreversible. A single word tattooed on the skin can say what 1,000 interviews cannot. Some longtime followers of BTS were quick to recall past interviews in which Jungkook hinted at feeling misunderstood and restrained, though he never elaborated. In hindsight, those comments now carry a weight that feels disturbingly relevant. Could the "remember" ink be a plea to fans to look deeper, to not forget the real him behind the idol mask? Others speculate that the tattoo references a personal loss, something or someone that left a permanent mark on him. The recent absence of certain members from joint schedules, along with whispers of creative disagreements behind the scenes, only deepen the mystery. What exactly is Jungkook trying to immortalize, and what does he want us to never forget? What's more concerning is the specific placement of the tattoo. Positioned along a major vein in his wrist, it's impossible to ignore the symbolic weight. For some, it's a sign of vulnerability, a way of placing raw emotion right where the pulse is strongest. For others, it's a statement of resistance, a subtle, deliberate challenge to a system that constantly demands silence and obedience. Critics argue that reading too much into body art is speculative at best, sensationalist at worst. But even they can't deny the unprecedented reaction this tattoo has caused, not just among fans, but among those inside the music industry itself. Stylists, former managers, and even security staff have begun sharing cryptic remarks online, referencing Jungkook's desire to leave a trail that no one could erase. What trail is he talking about? And where does it lead? The phrase, remember, has begun trending globally, not because of a new song, but because of a single word permanently marked on one man's skin. It's no longer just a tattoo. It's a symbol, a warning, perhaps even a cry for help. Yet Jungkook has not publicly commented on the meaning behind it. And that silence is louder than any interview he could ever give. One cannot overlook the fact that this revelation comes at a critical point in Jungkook's career. Having successfully launched multiple solo tracks, partnered with international brands, and headlined major global events, he now stands at the peak of his global influence. But such visibility comes at a cost. Those closest to the industry confirm that autonomy often diminishes as fame escalates. The higher the platform, the tighter the grip. I ask this tattoo Jungkook's quiet rebellion? Or is it a marker of something far more personal? A reminder to himself, not the world, for ARMY. This mystery cuts deeper than mere curiosity. It invites reflection. What does it mean when one of the world's most beloved artists chooses to express his truth not through music, but through ink? And what truths might he feel unable to voice publicly? Even more unsettling is the timing. Industry patterns show that idols often make permanent decisions, new tattoos, hair changes, cryptic social media posts, shortly before major shifts in their career or personal life. Could this be a signal? Is Jungkook preparing to distance himself further from the machinery that made him? Or is he gearing up to reveal something far bigger than a new project? The layers of this situation are heavy. They touch on identity, control, freedom, and the hidden battles that public figures endure behind the scenes. Jungkook may not have said a word about the meaning behind the tattoo, but in doing so, he has said more than any publicist-approved statement ever could. As speculation grows, one thing is clear: this is not about aesthetics. It's about autonomy. It's about truth. And it's about the chilling possibility that one of the most influential voices in global pop culture may no longer feel safe speaking out loud. What are we supposed to remember? And why does it feel like we're running out of time to figure it out? In the absence of direct answers, the responsibility now shifts to the fans, the media, and the public at large, to listen closely, not just to what's said, but to what's being shown. Because sometimes, the most important messages are the ones written in silence and inked in skin. The tattoo may be real, but is the story behind it as authentic as it appears? In today's hyperdigital world, the line between personal truth and constructed narrative is increasingly difficult to define. Jungkook's new tattoo, an abrupt, bold addition to his already well-documented body art, has stirred an avalanche of interpretations, but none are officially confirmed. Are we witnessing a deeply personal revelation? Or are we all participants in a calculated spectacle designed to provoke, distract, or even manipulate? This question lies at the heart of the storm now engulfing social media. As fans rush to interpret the inked word "remember" and its ominous positioning, it is imperative that we step back and ask ourselves, are we responding to facts, or to the emotional triggers carefully embedded in every pixel and phrase surrounding the story? We live in an age where information is not only immediate, but also infinitely editable. TikTok clips of Jungkook's public appearances are remixed, slowed down, and captioned with speculative commentary. YouTube thumbnails exaggerate facial expressions into scandal. Twitter threads build entire narratives from a single freeze frame of a tattooed wrist. And news aggregators amplify it all, without verifying the original context. But what if this entire phenomenon is the result of a meticulously designed media pattern? What if the tattoo, while real, is only a small fragment in a broader puzzle that's being misrepresented? The emotional responses triggered by the tattoo are understandable. Jungkook is a figure of immense global influence, and any change in his appearance, especially one as permanent as a new tattoo, is bound to draw attention. But attention alone does not constitute truth. Are we, the public, engaging in genuine inquiry? Or are we being led by the hand into a narrative that thrives on our curiosity but offers little clarity? It is essential to reflect critically on our own reactions. Why are we so quick to assign meaning to this tattoo? Is it because we truly believe there is a hidden message? Or because we have been conditioned to expect every move from a celebrity to be laced with subtext, conspiracy, or coded rebellion? There's also the uncomfortable possibility that the tattoo's public exposure was no accident. Was it deliberately revealed to feed the speculation engine? Are we, perhaps unknowingly, becoming pawns in a carefully constructed campaign of emotional manipulation? These are not accusations, but urgent questions, questions that demand consideration from anyone who claims to care about the integrity of truth in media. Moreover, we must recognize the nature of the platforms shaping this discourse. TikTok excels at virality, not verification. YouTube rewards emotional reaction, not journalistic rigor. Twitter thrives on brevity, not depth. And yet, these are the very platforms where the Jungkook tattoo narrative is unfolding with staggering intensity. Should we not question the credibility of the interpretations being pushed forward in such environments? Even this article, as you read it, participates in that same ecosystem of content. We draw from the same public footage, the same viral snippets, the same speculative commentary. The difference is that we urge caution, not conclusion. We present possibilities, not proclamations. Because ultimately, the truth, if it exists at all in this moment, is elusive. This moment demands more than passive consumption. It demands that fans, media analysts, and cultural observers pause and ask, what do we gain by believing this narrative? And what do we lose if we later discover it to be false? One must also consider the impact of these narratives on Jungkook himself. If the tattoo truly holds personal significance, if it's a silent protest, a cry for freedom, or a private memorial, then public speculation may amount to emotional intrusion. Are we respecting his autonomy? Or are we weaponizing his vulnerability for our entertainment? Alternatively, if the tattoo is part of a coordinated publicity strategy, what does that say about the state of celebrity culture? Are personal symbols being commodified for attention? Is our engagement being exploited to sustain visibility metrics? In either case, the public must exercise responsibility. We must become more than just spectators in a media spectacle. We must become active interrogators of what is being shown, why it is being shown, and who benefits from its visibility. Does the word remember truly call us to witness Jungkook's pain? Or is it calling us to remember our own tendency to blur truth and fiction in the pursuit of sensation? We ask you, the reader, to engage not just emotionally, but intellectually. Do you believe that the tattoo represents a suppressed narrative of artistic struggle? Or are you beginning to suspect that the outrage, awe, and analysis surrounding this single image are symptoms of a broader trend? One where emotional bait outpaces factual substance. This is not a conclusion. It is an invitation. Reflect on what you've read. Reevaluate what you've seen. Rethink what you've been told. Because in a world where a single image can spark a global storm, the greatest power lies not in what is revealed, but in how we choose to interpret it. In the end, this moment is not just about Jungkook, a tattoo, or a potential message. It is about us. Our assumptions, our emotional triggers, our hunger for meaning in an age oversaturated with symbols but starving for substance. Ask yourself, are you certain you know what's really going on? Or are you simply reacting to a carefully constructed illusion? Until more is known, the truth remains suspended, inked not just on Jungkook's wrist, but on the conscience of every observer willing to look deeper.